Vickery. I am, in fact, Heather Vickery, and I'm in a different space today. I'm actually in our recording studio, which I don't use very much anymore now that I have my really cool, beautiful desk with the bookshelves behind me that bring me so much joy, 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 joy. But I used to do all of my live shows right here in this room, and I had a cute setup here. Anyway, we're having internet issues today. So thanks for hanging out. I'm glad that you're here. For those of you that are new, again, I'm Heather. I'm a transformation coach. And what I do is I help people show up for themselves, learn to understand themselves deeply, to learn to love themselves, practice self-compassion, lead from a place of embodied joy so that they can go out and make the change and the impact in the world that they want. Because joyful leaders, heart center, conscious leaders are the ones that change the world. But just as importantly, I help you build and live a life that you are madly fucking in love with, despite the chaos, regardless of what's going on around you. And I do that in a lot of different ways. And one of those ways is this weekly live show. Every Thursday, I share a new tip or trick or way that you can show up for yourself, that you can choose bravely, that you can stand in your power. I'd like to remind you today, I had this conversation on Substack earlier today, that I'm going to make sure my microphone was working, that empowerment is inside work. I am a transformation coach. I am a guide. I am a lead. I am a mentor, a leader. I don't know. Y'all, I'm tired. Perimenopause is fucking up my ass right now. I am a transformation coach. I am a guide. I am a leader. I am a mentor. I want to support you, but I don't empower you. You empower yourself when you choose yourself, when you fight for yourself, when you pick yourself, when you practice self-care, self-empowerment, self-expansion. When you say yes to the things that light you up and no to the things that don't. When you say, fuck those rules, I'm going to rebuild it my way. When you prioritize the things that are important to you, you empower yourself. And in that process, you support the people around you. When you rise because you are caring for yourself and loving yourself deeply, the people around you will rise. They will meet you there. And the ones who don't, love bug, you don't need them. They are not for you. They are not here for you. They are not going to support you. They are not for you. If you set boundaries and people get mad, it's because they don't want to stop pushing you around or demanding that you behave a certain way. So no, we're not doing any of that. And today I wanted to specifically talk about the power of rhythm, of flow, of flowing with your life, flowing with your truth. So once you've done the initial work to recognize, like, I need to know myself better. I need to trust myself better. I would feel better if I had more self-compassion or practice gratitude more or focused on self-care more. That would make me feel better. Like, first is we have to acknowledge it. We have to recognize it. Once we've done that, then we start playing around with different modalities, tools, trips. You guys, I'm really on a roll today. With different modalities, tools, tricks, tips, things. You're just going to play. You're just going to try things and see what works and see what doesn't. And I'm a big fan of throwing out the rules that don't serve you. I'm a big fan of that because they weren't built for you. First of all, if you know anything about human design, they were built by generators for generators. Those are the people who have the motors and get everything done. And maybe you're watching and you are a generator. Love you. So grateful for you guys because you get shit done. But the rest of us are over here like, what the fuck, right? It wasn't built for you. Second of all, it was built by men for men. It's not built for you. It's not built to honor you, to honor your process, honor your system, none of it. The world was not built for you, but that does not mean you cannot rebuild it in a way that is for you. That's empowerment. That's you picking yourself. That's choosing yourself bravely. You are the only one that can do that for yourself. You are the only one with the magic wand that can do that for yourself. Nobody else can do it. You have to start by saying yes. So what I love about this concept of rhythm over routine is that once you've decided you want to know yourself better, you want to trust yourself better, you want to be more compassionate with yourself, you want to listen to your body, to your intuition, to discover your own inner knowing, because I can tell you right now that your body has all the answers it needs. You ever wonder why you push and push and push and hustle and hustle and hustle, and then you get sick at the worst possible time? It's because your body has said, fuck this. You are not listening to what I'm telling you. So I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it louder so that you have to listen. You have to slow down, right? Your body has all the answers. Your mind is so easily manipulated. When I work with folks doing human design work, and even through NLP subconscious reprogramming work, we spend a lot of time discovering what your yes feels like, what your no feels like, what your intuition feels like in your body, because you can train yourself. And I have done this, and I'm pretty darn good at it, to get your answers very quickly, almost immediately from inside your body, and not overthink it with your mind. That's a tricky thing to do because, especially as women, we are taught in the world that we should not trust ourselves, our bodies, or even our knowledge, right? We have to fight against that all the time. But once you've said yes to that, and once you've entered into that space, then you can start playing with this concept of rhythm over routine. Now, some of you love rhythm, and I love that for you. That's amazing. You still need to be paying attention, practicing what I call the 3 R's in the Brave Method, which is what my book is about, right over my shoulder here. Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap. The 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, and resilience. You still need to be checking in with yourself very consistently and saying, do I like this? Do I like the way it feels? Do I like who I am when I'm making this decision? Is it getting me the results that I want? Do I want more of it or less of it? Do I want to try it again, but differently? Right? Do all of that, even if you love schedules and routines, and see if something needs to shift, because sometimes things need to shift season by season, cycle by cycle. Maybe it's day by day. Maybe it's hour by hour, right? It depends on who you are and what you need in that moment. But if you are not slowing down enough to pay attention and ask yourself those questions, you are going to miss it. Once you start doing that, and you get to embrace rhythm over routine, you get to live in flow with yourself instead of pushing against yourself on a regular basis. You move when your body says move. You rest when your spirit needs space and time for rest. You create in the moments that you're most alive instead of pushing and forcing in the moments where it is not for you. Now, this showed up for me in a really, really big way in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So I mentioned earlier, perimenopause is really messing with me, and I'm having a tough ride right now, and my body is in rest, relax, protect mode. So for the last couple of weeks, despite owning my own business, you guys, if I don't work, I don't make money. If I don't make money, I don't pay the bills, I don't feed my children. I have to work. And not only do I have to work, I have to be building a pipeline. I have to be continuing to build my platform, except I have had to rest because I knew right away my body was in rest and relax mode. So I couldn't even read, which is such a weird thing for me because I'm a big reader. Those of you who maybe even know me because we're book pals, I love to read. I picked a book back up yesterday, and that's good. So I'm getting back in the flow of that. But I couldn't even focus on reading. I watched a shit ton of Netflix original movies. Some are good and some are not so good. All of that to say, I knew that I needed to just honor this space, this time, this need of my body, and go slow and move through the process and trust myself. So once you move into rhythm over routine, maybe your body's going to say, hey, it's hustle time. Let's dance. Maybe your body's going to say, time to go back to bed. Maybe it's going to say, oh my gosh, you have to eat spinach and fresh fruit all day today. Or maybe it's going to say, today is a good day for a chocolate croissant. You've got to check in with your body so that you can get those answers that you're looking for. It means that your calendar doesn't need to run your life. You do. Your calendar is great. I live for my calendar. If it is not in my calendar, know that it is not going to happen. But you are in charge of your calendar versus your calendar being in charge of you. You can move things, you can shift things, you can renegotiate things. Trust yourself enough to ask and to try and to see what happens. When you embrace rhythm over routine, you have less fear of change in general because rhythm requires change. It's part of the process. It's part of you checking in with yourself and saying, do I like this? Do I want this? Do I like who I am in this space? Do I want to pick this, more of this? Do I want to change it? Do I want to shift it? Change is the only constant. And if you aren't consistently checking in with yourself and following your own rhythm and your own flow, then you're going to be uncomfortable in all the wrong ways. I love, everything you really want is just on the other side of uncomfortable, but there's a good uncomfortable and there's a bad uncomfortable, and your body knows the difference. Your mind will fuck with you about that in a really big way, but your body knows the difference. Learn the tells. Learn to trust your body. Learn to understand that. You also kind of have to let go of perfectionism. When you embrace rhythm over routine, you let shit go because rhythm embraces imperfection. It embraces changes. And it's where you let your humanity shine. It's where you give yourself the time and the space and the things that you need that you would otherwise completely miss because you haven't been checking in with yourself. Comparison can go out the window, right? Because rhythm is yours, it's not somebody else's. So you stop saying, well, so and so does this every day and that works for them, because that's them. What works for somebody else isn't going to be the same thing that works for you. That's just not the way it is. Success has to be self-defined. Bravery has to be self-defined. Pick your own metrics of success. Checking in with yourself and following the rhythm that you feel that day in that moment is such a gift. And I know that sometimes these things are hard to do. If you have a regular 9-to-5 job, which I haven't had, I'm 50, I haven't had since I was in my early 20s, it is much more difficult, but there are still ways, small bite-sized ways to show up for yourself, to listen to your inner body, to listen to your rhythm, to ask for the support that you need, to set boundaries. I can help you. I work with people in the corporate space all the time. It's getting to know yourself, knowing what you need, and then learning to trust yourself and advocate for yourself. I can help you do that. That is something we do every single day. If you're feeling resistance to a flow, it's because you're afraid of disappointing somebody. You're afraid of getting it wrong. You're not failing just because something didn't go according to plan. It just wasn't for you, or it wasn't for you right then. So practicing self-compassion is really important in this process. You can let go of attachment to outcomes when you embrace rhythm over routine, because rhythm is all about the process. It's not about the results. I have a client who I just adore, who's working to play more in their life. And I ask, what is your definition of play? And they said, something that doesn't have an end result. I loved that answer so much. Something that doesn't have an end result. I don't do it because I want to check a box. I don't do it because I want to complete something. I do it because I'm going to love it, because it's going to give me time and space and creativity, and I can just do it for the sake of having fun. That can look like anything for you. It could look like reading or watching TV or going for a walk or working out or traveling or writing or coloring. It could be anything that you want it to be. Maybe it's working with wood, maybe it's building something. Maybe it's fixing something. You get to decide, right? You get to decide. Embracing rhythm over routine allows you to let go of unrealistic expectations, because not every day needs to be epic. Not everything you do needs to be valuable. Sometimes just slowing down and being with yourself and loving yourself and taking time for yourself is the most valuable thing you can do. Some days just are. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You can let go of old patterns, the things that don't serve you anymore. Oh, it lets you evolve. I am such a big fan of rhythm over routine. I know firsthand how it changes things. It's one of the reasons that I'm hosting the Reclaim Your Peace retreat in Costa Rica next January. We do still have spots available if you're interested in joining us. They start as little as $2,900 a person, which is crazy for 6 days, all inclusive at this incredible, incredible resort facility in Costa Rica. This space is all about trusting your rhythm over your routine. It's about finding time to sit with yourself, discover yourself, explore yourself, learn yourself. You can't help it in the jungle. You cannot help but show up for yourself and learn from yourself and be transformed. When I was there a couple months ago, I swear to you, it really felt like there was a golden cord that came from the core of the earth through my body and connected me to the cosmos. I was alive with the vibration of the earth. I was the universe and the universe was me. It is impossible to leave this space without transformation. And sometimes we have to seek out spaces to go be and things to do that allow us to sit with ourselves in that way, get out of our own routines, out of our own homes, out of our own towns, away from the people that we love, so that we can find ourselves in new ways and discover ourselves in new ways and explore ourselves in new ways. Now, I help clients do that all the time through the Spark Collective, through private coaching. It's so powerful to do that, but you have to pick it. I want to remind you again, empowerment is inside work. I don't empower you. I call such bullshit on any coach that says they empower women to XYZ. No, they don't. You empower yourself when you show up for yourself, when you say yes to yourself, when you choose yourself. Whatever that's going to look like for you today in this moment, you empower yourself. You are the one with the magic wand. All I do is offer my support, my guidance, my coaching, my mentorship, my leadership. I have tools and skills, and I have this whole big toolkit. I've been trained in a gazillion things, and I spent a lot of money and a lot of time learning how to do it, and I can help you with it, but you're the one that does the work. It's not me. I don't do the work. You do the work. I just help you and I support you and I cheer you on in the process. Okay, y'all. What a great session today. I am a little tired, so thanks for hanging out and sticking it out. I'm going to pull a Create Brave card for you. So these are a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my amazing friend, Rachel Swanson. She's a creativity coach. I'm the Brave Method coach. Create Brave. So these are beautiful cards, which we cannot get more of because we did have them printed in China because we couldn't afford to have them printed in the US. And with the new tariffs, there's no way. So when they are gone, they are gone. But I do still have probably about 150 decks. If you want one, reach out and you can get one. They're gorgeous. They have this beautiful magnetic box, these pretty teal glitter edges. The artwork is stunning. I'm going to pull a card for you. A manifestation card is designed to help you think of your situation out of the box. Get creative. When you see the card, the message is going to speak to you. It's going to be very clear, and you're going to know what it is, and I'm not going to know what it is for you. So it's time to get out of your own way, stop with your own bullshit, right? And just be honest with yourself. The cards are beautiful. They almost always speak exactly to what we're talking about. It's funny because Rachel and I were going to do a whole new deck. We're going to do Create Joy, but I don't know if we'll be able to do it if we have to use US manufacturing. Okay, I always shuffle until the card that's for me comes out. I love it. Dance. I am in flow with my work and my life. Y'all, today's topic is rhythm over routine. Dance is the card we got. Dance. I am in flow with my life and my work. So what does being in rhythm look like for you today? What does being in flow look like for you today? Where are you bullshitting yourself? Where can you step into your own flow, into your own rhythm? I'm not going to read from the guidebook, but we do have a guidebook. So it's got the focus word and the affirmation and coaching guidance, and then a thing you can go do right now. So if you are watching and you have a deck, go pull up Dance and see what the action is and do it. But for everybody else right now, just think about, what does this mean to you? How can you dance? How can you be in flow with your work and your life more easily? And what would be different if you did that? Thank you so much for hanging out. If you guys want a deck of the Create Brave cards, send me a message. You can get them on my website, vickeryandco.com. You can go to the shop there. If you're interested in the Spark Collective or the Costa Rica retreat, January 2026, let me know. I do open office hours, Ask Me Anything office hours every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central. You can sign up for those on my website. I would love to have you join. Everybody's welcome, totally free. Ask any questions you want about anything I teach or coach or talk about, or just come and hang out. That would be great. I would love to see you there. This is Heather Vickery reminding you today and every single day to go out and choose yourself bravely, because if you don't, who will? Choose yourself bravely because you are worth it, because you deserve it. And I am your biggest fan. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye now.